I've always had trouble with the word why. I always get in trouble when I ask why is something done this way and not some other way. It's caused me a great deal of grief, but also a lot of success. In 1972, I was going to school at USC Cinema, and I took on odd jobs to pay for books and such. One of the jobs took me to Robert Altman's production facility. Altman was talking to an old-time sound man. They were discussing why the soundtrack of McCabe and Mrs. Miller, Julie Christie and Warren Beatty, was so terrible. And Altman was so frustrated. The sound man said, "There's nothing you can do, Mr. Altman." And I'm 23. I was out of place, but I said, how come movie sound dialogue can't be recorded like music, where you put every actor on a different channel? He used overlapping dialogue, which was sort of like CNN's talk shows where everybody talks on top of each other. With separate channels, he was able to delineate each actor. He stared at me, and I thought that was the end of that. A couple days later, he called me. I started working for him, developed this recording system. We did a movie called Nashville, and it won the Academy Award for Sound that year. 1982, I started my own business, and in those days, the sound systems in theaters was pretty poor. So I asked, well, why can't they be better? So we designed a new sound system. The Academy found out about it. It was evaluated, and the Academy gave me an Academy Award, technical award, for improving surround sound in the 80s. So we did that. When we did our sound system, we couldn't sell any product because there were so few stereo movies. So I said, well, why can't we do some stereo movies to increase the number of movies out there? You can't sell stereo equipment, until you have stereo movies. So over 15 years, we did 2,000 movie soundtracks worldwide. Not necessarily the most wonderful ones. We did the Friday the 13th and the Halloweens and those kind of movies, but thousands of them. A friend of mine asked me, why do we use a photographic light meter to measure the illuminance of a screen? Consumer light meter shows about this much of the screen, and if the screen is 50 feet wide, it's sort of useless. We designed a video camera to capture the entire screen, divide it into 45 sections, and give you 45 readings as though it were 45 meters. And we won an Academy Award for that. In 2006, I decided, well, we're kind of bored with sound. We ought to do something different. I said, let's do some imaging. How hard could that be? After a lot of pain, developed a pretty leading-edge imaging process, but we had no market for it. Fortunately, in 2011, James Cameron did a demonstration in Las Vegas of this new process, and everybody was stunned. And I said, oh, this is exactly the right application for our technology. We immediately started working in that direction. And a couple of weeks later, actually, Peter Jackson started shooting The Hobbit. So we contacted Jackson, and we worked all last year with him. We finally got the last software updates weeks before the movie opened in December. I got a special print of The Hobbit for the Fremont, and we got that signed off the night before by Warner Brothers. So if you'd seen the Hobbit at the Fremont, you probably understand what I'm talking about. The image was so clear and so real looking. People ask, well, what's the future for us? Well, Cameron's starting Avatar later this year. We'll be working with that. There's new sound technologies. We're working with Harman and Dolby on new technologies for multi-channel audio in cinemas. I think as long as we keep asking why we need to do something this way or why we don't need a better way, the future is very bright. We'll keep coming up with new technologies, new products, and move forward successfully.